Friday night. This is the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Here's your host, Brent Martineau. It's Friday night.
Yeah, it is Friday night. So good. A couple of times. Hey, what's happening on a Friday? Some rain coming through in pockets. I hope you stayed dry. Fields are kind of muddy. That golf course better not be too muddy on Monday for the Dream 18 at Southampton. Telling you that. Burish, do your job. No more rain. It's the rainy season, folks. You got to deal with some of that. Let's begin with some scores, and then we'll welcome in Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach. We call it the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We start with all scores around the area. We'll have committed to the uncommitted. We will have our Blitz QB high five. We'll have coach's reaction. We'll have our Hall of Famers analysis. It's coming up in just a couple minutes, and it's coming up until 10:30. We'll take it right into the TV edition of the Friday Night Blitz. Bartram Trail up over Mandarin 24-8. Yulee and Terry Parker, good game. 13-7. I had this one circled, too. Talk about that game in a bit. Ed White, 34-24 over Sewanee. I was at that game for a bit. Sewanee looked outmatched, and then here they come, 34-24. It's a bit of a shootout over there at Coach Sullivan's old school. Bowles, 49. Fernandina Beach, 14. Rains, 29-8 over Andrew Jackson. Riverside looking good again, 28-9 over Orange Park. St. Augustine, 41. Middleburg, 29. Hey, give the Bronx some credit. They were down big in this game, like 27-6 or something like that. And now here they come back, 41-29, making it a game. The Providence Stallions over Stanton, 23-0. Baldwin, 21. West Nassau, 13. It's our Friday Night Blitz game of the week, and Marcel Robinson is there. Hopefully we'll take a peek of that game in just a bit. Menendez, 28. East Side, 7. Good-looking game for Menendez. Vidra up 20-7 over First Coast. Ribault 7, West Side nothing. Clay 27-zip over Ridgeview at last check. Columbia up 21-0 over Inglewood. Camden County at the half. How about this score right here? 36-6 over Oakleaf. Thought that would be a better matchup. Charlton County 14-0 in the lead as well. Union County, PK Young 21-13. Tigers are winning, and more scores to get to, including Clearwater. I was just at that game. 28-23 over Trinity Christian in the second quarter. That one might end after midnight, folks. It's a long game. Fletcher and Fleming Island tied at 6, and we got a couple more scores to get to. Matanzas losing to Gainesville 37-16. All right. Well, let me get University Christian in here, too. They're beating Bradford 14-13. Now we welcome in the head coach. I give you all the scores. I know you've been following along. Kevin Sullivan, hello on another Friday night. Welcome to the weekend. And what catches your attention about those scores?
Man, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good ones out there today. The weather played a little bit of factor in some of them. But you missed a couple. We had Ponte Vedra 27-7 over First Coast, Baker County 42-7 over Paxson. Those two that you didn't have, and then Bishop Kenny with a 36-0 over the new school, Tacoya Creek. Got those in. But really, some really good games. I thought for the most part, they went the way we thought. We knew Fletcher and Fleming were going to be a tight defensive battle because neither of them have done much on offense this year. We knew Bartram was going to come back probably focused, got up big early, and then just sort of coasted in the second half. Mandy came back, got a late score. Riverside's Riverside. They're just doing what they do. And the TC game, like you said, it's 9 o'clock. They're at halftime now. They started at 7, so that could be a late. They might beat us off the air. Maybe beat you off the air, too.
They might. I was just at that game, Coach, and this is like, don't get me going here. I know you have a lot of pet peeves. But holy cow, officials, I love you, and I know we need you, and I know there's a shortage of you. But keep the dang flag in your pocket from time to time, huh? I mean, Coach, there was no shortage. There was at least a dozen flags in the first quarter. It took 48 minutes to play the first quarter. And, yes, some of that's just undisciplined nature. Some of that's sometimes a flow of a game. There is no flow of a game when it takes 48 minutes to play 12.
No, it's terrible. And as the coach, you're like, give me a break, man. Let's just play, you know? Yeah,
I've long said my pet peeve in high school and in college is the infraction of offsides or encroachment when the ball hasn't been snapped and you haven't touched anybody. I don't know why they do that in high school. And it's really hard right now because I'm going to kind of give you a noise illustration of this. But every team, not every team, but most teams now line up at the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And the quarterback goes, claps his hands. And if they don't jump, they look over to the sideline and get a new play. Like, that's what everybody does. But sometimes the kids jump, undisciplined, and boom, stop the clock. Well, nothing really was impacted, you know? Keep the flag in your pocket and let's just play ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think that rule was in effect when people were under center so much. You know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
defensive guys are trying to jump the snap count and, that kind of stuff. I don't understand it. If the guy jumps and he gets back, he jumps and gets back. If he jumps, makes the offensive guy move, it's a penalty like it is in college. I just don't know why we haven't changed that rule. And the other rule is fielding the ball in the end zone. If you want to run it out, run the dang thing out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good call.
Me. And that's from a guy that didn't have a kicker a lot of times, but it to me, if you kick it in the end zone, you want to run it out, run it out.
Yeah, that's a good call.
That's the one I've always hated that one too.
Yeah, I don't get that either right now, actually. And by the way, a lot of legs in the area and a lot of high school kids can now get it to the end zone.
And they get it in and there's nothing. But if the guy catches it a yard deep or 1 foot in and 1 foot out, I mean, I just never understood that rule. It hasn't changed. And then getting the offsides, the encroachment penalty, I don't understand that.
Get off my lawn. We could do this all night, couldn't we, huh? Listen, I have a few pet peeves about it. Most of it's about the flow of the game because it's selfish in my nature. I want to get as many kids' highlights on TV as we can, and sometimes you can't. All right, let me give you some other finals. St. Johns County doing well tonight. Bartram Trail beats Mandarin 24-8. Nice over Atlantic Coast 35-14. Creekside over Sandalwood 20-16. Creekside Knights are 4-0. Bartram Trail bounces back, and Nice, I tell you what, I think they're onto something a little bit, Coach. Marcus Stokes down there and Colin Drass, what he's doing. You can kind of see the build happening.
Yeah, definitely. We got a chance to talk to him week 1. Hopefully he'll get a chance to call in tonight. And we talked about getting that first win early over PV, which hadn't been done. Then they sort of had a hiccup week 2 against a really good team now. And then now they're coming back. Good win week 3, really good win really dominated against Atlantic Coast, which we thought that would be a much closer game. Really came out and dominated against the Stingrays.
Yeah, so pretty good win for them. As we continue to look around the area, let's take you to some close games and get your thoughts on them. Do you know much about Clearwater? I mean, I'll tell you what, Coach, 28-23 at the half, they lead Trinity, and they jumped on them early after a kind of a botched kickoff, and then Trinity comes right back and answers. Then they take a 10-8 lead. Then they give up a touchdown, and it's 16-10 when I left, and the scoring just didn't stop. In fact, when I was walking out, I could tell Trinity was going down to score again. So it's back and forth. But I'll tell you this, I don't know much about Clearwater Academy. Kind of feels like they're an IMG type of thing in the making, but they had some big dudes now, and they had a quarterback that could sling it, but their offensive line was massive.
Yeah, I read today about them a little bit. Now, they played DeLand, which is a really solid team last week, beat them 37-7. Just sort of dominated DeLand. So I knew they had to have some dudes. And they are sort of IMG-ish over there, what they're trying to build in their program. But they've got a big-time West Virginia commit. They've got the big offensive lineman. They've got a big defensive inside guy, 300-pound, 6'5" kid. So they've got some cats, and it's going to be a good one going to the end. He's going to earn his 300 win tonight, Coach Dorman, if he gets that one done. He's going to earn that one.
That's what's on the line for Coach Dormany, 300th win. I said hello to him before the game, and if he gets it, congratulations. If not, he'll get it next week, most likely, because they're not going to lose too often this year. And I'll tell you what, Colin Hurley kid looks good. He looks good. We'll talk about the quarterbacks in a bit, but you can tell he looks the part. Sometimes with some of these kids, and I understand it's all about projection, I'm kind of like, all right, I don't really see it. I got to see more. I got to go more. And you got to remember now, I stop over there for a quarter and a half. But you can almost tell right away with this kid. And they put a lot of it in his hands, too. They're not afraid to do that as a freshman. So they are going to do big things most likely this year and for years to come at Trinity. Keep an eye on the name Colin Hurley. That's one you should know. St. Augustine has added another score, so they pull away a little bit from Middleburg, 47-29. I know there's no moral victories, Coach, but them keeping it close with St. Augustine tells me something about Middleburg.
Yeah, well, what they're doing offensively, they can slow the game down by being able to run the ball and go for it, try to keep St. Augustine off the field. But again, with St. Augustine, you can't get down 34-7 at any point in the game. And they could have take the breaks off, started playing some kids, subbing some kids out and stuff. But yeah, it's a good fight. They're playing really good competition this week. And as he continues to build the program, the only stuff they'll get better on.
Yeah, so 47-29 is the score there over Middleburg, and we'll keep you posted on that. Providence up for Stanton, 23-0. Riverside, 28-9 over Orange Park. Rains over Andrew Jackson, 29-8. Having a hard time figuring out exactly what Rains is. Is this a good addition of Rains? Is this an impressive performance over what we think is a pretty good Andrew Jackson team, Coach?
I think it's a pretty good performance. Jackson just scored. I just got a text. It's 29-14 with a minute left. So I was going to go Rains' way. Remember, these schools haven't played in a few years. One of the things Coach Foy's trying to do is get the natural rivals back. And he's got Rains this week. He's got Lee next week. And there ain't a lot of guys that are playing that schedule with Fletcher a week before. And still got Rebold at the end. So he's trying to bring the natural rivalries back. But it's a good win. Rain's coming off an open week. I think they found their quarterback.
Yeah.
Ratcher, I believe that's his name. I believe they found him, and that's where they're moving forward. And it just takes them a little bit of time, like we talked earlier, when they were in that tight dog fight with Trinity week one, that they'll get rolling and get going, and they're coaching their second year. So they've got a lot of pride over there at Rain. So, but that's a really good win for them at Jackson. Big crowd over there too tonight.
Was there?
Yeah, big crowd. Yeah, 1,000 pre-sold going in the game, 1,000 pre-sold. So
wow.
You figure they got another 1,000 easy coming in there, coming up to the gate. So that was real excited for that. And hey, everybody needs the money these days, so yeah. That's good for over there.
Well, hey, that's one of the things with COVID and everything else from last year. People lost a lot of money. That's an important thing. We talk about at the NFL level, collegiate level. It's a big thing at the high school level, how much that money goes a long way in high school football in every county, at every school. No matter the size, it still kind of is the moneymaker. By the way, you mentioned Rashawn Latimer Jr. He's a guy that they seemingly have found. They've also got Carlton Butler, who can do a lot of things over there. Quincy Burrows is fantastic wide receiver at Rains. So, I mean, they have certainly some talent, and they have a lot of senior guys, at least with some of those skilled players. So they've been around the block a little bit. Keep an eye on Rains if they can continue to get better and better as the years go along. You mentioned as the year goes along. You mentioned Ribault 27-0 over West Side. So that will be a nice win. It looks like for Ribault. Ed White 40-24 over Sewanee. And that'd be a good win for your former school as well. Coach, I was over there. It was 14-0. I mean, Sewanee couldn't even really snap the ball. A couple fumbles early on. Snap couldn't even get back there. Quarterback exchange fumbled. And then when I was walking out the door again, boom, touchdown on like a double pass. And now that one's been back and forth. But be a nice win over Ed White if they could get the W over Sewanee.
Yeah, that'd be a really good win, getting in the district, starting off the district, because it's Sewanee, Ed White, the district with Baker County's in there. So you want to get that first district win, and Bishop Kenny's in there. So you got a pretty good district. So getting the first win against a quality opponent, going 1-0 in district, that's probably the most important thing for most of these guys this week.
We're going to talk a little district play tonight, by the way, so we'll do that in a bit. I want to also mention Yulee over Terry Parker. Kind of like this game. I circled it, 13-7. Yulee's sneaky right now, playing pretty good football. Terry Parker can be really good. I think of Roman Doles is their quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's got like a visit to Notre Dame coming up, Coach.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about him a little bit more on the QB Blitz High Five. But Parker can be good. Parker's on and off sometimes for me. It's hard to get a good feel. But I had my eyes on that game, and right now Yulee winning 13-7 at last check.
Yeah, and if it stays that way, to me, Parker's got to just get more consistent in what they're trying to do. Because they could come out and play with almost anybody around, but they don't seem to be able to be consistently playing each week. And that comes with having the confidence, the kids having the confidence, being able to compete with everybody, no matter the opponent, week in and week out. So they got to come back, because Yulee really has done a nice job against them.
Duval Charter, by the way, beating Old Plank Christian 38-0. Hawthorne in the lead, 36-7. Sojanese won over Atlantic Coast 35-14. Bartram Trail 24-8 over Mandarin. So a good bounce back win after that one didn't sit well last week when they blew the late lead in the fourth quarter. Creekside wins 20-16. Rains has gone final now, 31-14, like you mentioned. Baker County 42, Paxson 7. Bishop Kenny 36-0 over Tokoi Creek. Tokoi Creek, the newest school in town. They don't have seniors. They're going to take some of those lumps.
Oh yeah,
along the way. That's part of it. They got some talent down there. You've seen all the St. John's County schools be able to play pretty good football over the years. Tokoi Creek won't be too far behind for sure. And let me bring back this game quick, Coach. Camden County and Oakleaf 36-6. A little surprised at that one. I mean, not surprised by Camden County's very good. Jeff Herron back, and it's actually a very good sign for Camden County. But Oak Leaf, after that big 40-30 comeback win, they'll now drop a couple, one to Columbia and now to Camden County, and they're not even in this one.
Yeah, they may have a little bit, because they were up on Columbia, and sort of like Bartram sort of let their fourth quarter get away from them last week. And so then they come out and they go to a hostile environment up there at Camden, one of the nicest places to play in the area. And, that's a good football team, and they're going to exploit you, and they're going to find some weaknesses. And, Coach Herron, he's done it for a bunch of years. So they know what they're doing, but I was really surprised. I thought offensively they'd do a little bit better job tonight.
All right, let's take a break here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We come back. We'll take you to some more live action. Hopefully have some coaches on as well. And we talk more about what's going on in the area, including district play firing up. What do the districts even look like this year? Coach knows that really well and how important that can be in the area. Plus the Blitz QB High Five. We've got committed to the uncommitted. A lot to get to and a lot of time to get to it. We'll be here until 10:30. Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, Casey along as well. Here on a Friday night in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. Got all your high school covered for you all the way up until 11:30 if you count ESPN 690, Fox 30, and CBS 47. Don't forget, you can watch live action of high school games if you tune in to the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch on ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
He's kept you ahead of storms.
This is going to be a very active afternoon of storms.
He's taken you inside storms.
Look at the Reds then that have shifted a little south of Jacksonville.
And for 33 years, the Chief has seen it all. Forecasting severe weather days in advance. So when storms are headed your way, there is only one meteorologist to turn to tonight, the Chief. The knowledge and experience of Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish. Action News Jack's First Alert Weather, only on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Show your support by attending Hubbard House's Barbara Ann Campbell Memorial Breakfast October 5th, an inspirational event benefiting local survivors. Tickets are available at hubbardhouse.org/breakfast.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anna John Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs. Make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall, call the law offices of Anna John Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan here on a Friday night, and we will run down everything you need to know about high school football in the area, and there's some early scores in, including Creekside getting the win over Sandalwood, and they go to 4-0 for the first time in school history. We'll also show you some live action coming up. Marcel Robinson is at the Baldwin West Nassau game, so we should see that in just a few minutes, so we'll keep you posted. Some live action coming up from around the area. Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach, and our analyst here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We're with you until 10:30. Let's go to the line right now and get the winning coach from that Creekside and Sandalwood game. And sorry about that, Coach Mcintyre. Almost slipped. Creekside gets the win 4-0, 20-16. Sounds like a hard-fought W for the Knights.
It was all of that, and I love seeing Nice win. I love seeing all the St. Johns County schools win. So there's no hard feelings there, Brent. It was a hard-fought win. Anytime you go to Sandalwood, you're going to get a very physical team, and they were tough to block tonight. They did a great job on the interior, and they did not let Preston Stroke get downhill on them. Our kids made some critical plays in some critical moments, And they've been doing that all season. I'm just extremely proud of the way that they played and the way that they finished tonight.
Hey, Coach, 4-0 for the first time ever. We've been watching this close up, the build and where you guys have gone since where you came from. What does it mean to this program for you, for the kids, to be 4-0?
Man, it means a ton for the kids. I'm not here. I love winning games. Don't get me wrong. Our staff loves winning games. But to see these kids, see their hard work, see the fruition, the payoff for the kids is why we're here. It's not the wins that fuel me, it's the kids. On Monday afternoon, I love going to practice, and we're not going to win a game that day. So I love being around these kids, and when you see their work pay off, the dedication. We had 30 kids this summer not miss a summer workout. When you see those kids, and many of those kids made huge plays for us tonight, and that work, that determination, that grit, it's going to fuel them in life beyond Friday nights. But it is fun watching them celebrate with each other here on the bus, fun watching them celebrate with each other on the field after that hard work pays off.
Coach Sullivan, take it away.
Coach, you got a little riverboat gambler tonight at the end of the game down there. You weren't giving that ball back to them, were you?
No, I did not want to give the ball back to them. We had a fake punt on the -28 with about 90 seconds to go in the game, and we had no timeouts. We called a fake punt. We liked against them. They lined up with real wide rushers, and we just snuck a guy out in the flat behind them, and our kids executed it all week in practice, and they executed it in the game. And hats off to our special teams coaches. They've done a great job this year. One of the reasons why we're 4-0 is because we've been special in special teams. We meet the first 30 minutes of our staff meeting on Sunday is dedicated to special teams, and it has paid off for us this season. Our kids have bought into that, and I'm very proud of the way they executed that play tonight in a very critical moment.
Coach Sean Mcintyre with us here on the Blitz Scoreboard show. How fun is that when you get to call those kind of plays, especially in a critical moment? But, I mean, those trick plays, the special teams kind of plays, you don't get to use them very much. So you got to pick your spots. How fun is it for a coach?
Oh, it wasn't fun there when I called it. I was there were some guys on the headset that were questioning me and what we're doing, and I had faith in our kids. We had a really good player in Christian Usazada throwing it to our starting linebacker, who's a really good football player. And you put the ball in the good players' hands at the end of games in critical moments. We did that again. Jacob Denny to Brendan McMillan on a 3rd and 8 to seal the game when we kneeled on it at the end. And, you give the ball to your good players at the end of games. You have faith that they're going to execute. And those kids were fired up on the sideline when our kids executed that. It was a fun thing to be a part of.
Coach Sully, take it away one more time. We'll let Coach go after this.
Hey, listen, Coach McIntyre, that's HCP, head coach prerogative. You make the calls, you live and die with it, buddy. HCP,
That's right.
We've all done that. Wait a minute, I'm the head coach. We're calling this thing tonight. I got a feel for our kids. Have some faith, brother. Have some faith, right?
I had some faith. There was some lack of faith on those headsets a little bit, but they were fired up when we hit it. And, I'll be honest, hats off to Sandalwood and Coach Geis. Those kids are ready to play. They were physical tonight. They got off the ball. They were tough to beat. We did not give them anything and that at the end of the game, and we had one our cornerback Carter McKeechin has 3rd interception of the season, and we went down and scored after that to make it 20-10, and at the end closed it out. But we didn't give them anything, and they didn't give us much. And I'm proud of our kids and the way that they finished tonight.
Coach Sean McIntyre, go celebrate the win. Congrats on the 4-0 start, man. And you got Childs next Thursday night, I believe. So good luck that next week.
Thank you, guys. We're going to test the maturity of our team, taking a 3-hour road trip against a team we don't know much about. And we're a very mature team. We're going to test that next week. I'm excited to see them play. They're going to be prepared and ready to go to work next week because they're a great group of kids. And we appreciate all you guys do. Thank you.
You bet. That's Sean McIntyre. Good luck
buddy.
at Childs on Thursday. Hey, heck of a win, 4-0, man. Again, we've been kind of following real closely. Obviously, I live right down there. I mean, so you can see it. But, I mean, they didn't win a game, man. They didn't win a game at all. They had a couple coaches in and out of there. Sean McIntyre comes over. And I talked to you earlier today on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, whether it's Creekside, whether it's Middleburg, whether it's you name it. You've done it in parts, right? I mean, you've done it at different schools. When you watch it build,
sure,
it's really kind of cool to see, even from my perspective. And I'm not even like in the trenches like you guys are, but it's kind of cool to see it happen. And we're seeing it at different pockets. I think we're seeing it at Nice right now. I think we're seeing it at other places too. Right. And heck, when you're 4-0, sooner or later you got to win, right, to prove that, to make sure you do that. And right now, Creekside jumping up to 8A gets a big win over Sandalwood. Welcome to the district.
Yeah, and the thing about it is as you build it, a lot of coaches will tell you it's a lot more funner building it than trying to maintain it over the years. Because when you build it, everything's new and everything's exciting, and the kids are buying in, and you're taking that group. This is your fourth year kids that you came in ninth grade. You started working them out the summer of ninth grade, and now they're all seniors, and they're all contributing. They're all playing hard. You've got to watch that growth and maturity. And as a coach, there's nothing like having that young, what we call pencil neck ninth grader come into the weight room, maybe being able to do the bench, the bar, and then all of a sudden, he's doing 275 off the bench going into his senior year, and he's telling the young kids, that was me, I was that guy, I was you. You got to work, you got to go, So it's really good, and they do such a good job, not just football wise, but overall with all their kids, and their hard work's paying off, and Coach McIntyre's vision's paying off over at Creekside.
Yeah, I got that pencil neck freshman. He's pencil neck sophomore. So hey, good. The bar is still difficult.
That's okay. Got to start somewhere, right?
That's right. Hey, you met district play, man. I know you wanted to talk about this a little bit. What do you make of some of the districts, Creekside going up and being in that? They're going to get a big test later on down the road with Bartram Trail in this district. But come on, we already know, right? Oakleaf and Sandalwood and the rest of. I mean, that's a fantastic class. Mandarin, of course, too. But they got by Sandalwood. What's your take on some of the districts and how they look this year?
Well, the district, the 8A district, Nice went down to 7A, which I think they could compete this year in 8A, but they went down to 7A, and Creekside ended up taking their spot and going to 8A. And so with Creekside and Bartram and Sandalwood, Mandarin and Oakleaf in that 8A district, I mean, we should get 3 teams out of the playoffs, minimum 3 teams out of the playoffs out of that, which is the beauty of win the district you're in, play good competition, maybe lose one district game, but play good competition, have enough points through the max preps to get in that large bid. And, that's why in the old days, it was you lost your first district game, you got your back to the wall, you're going to need help, you got to go. Now you don't have that. If you can win the district you're in, but you also still have a chance till the end because of the strength of schedule and the max preps rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's pretty cool. I think it's the right way to do it. There's no perfect way to do it. I think it is the right way to do it. I kind of like it. You're taking a look, by the way, live here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Baldwin and West Nassau, 21-13 my last check, but I think they're kicking off, which means, oh, no, that's a punt. My bad. Sorry. I thought they were lining up to kick and just did, but they punted it away. So West Nassau looks to be down by 8 points, if I've got the score correct. And you're seeing West Nassau back with the ball with a chance to maybe go down there and tie the game up against Baldwin. So that's a good one. That's our game of the week on the Friday Night Blitz. Marcel Robinson giving you a live look into that action right there while he gets all his other duties for TV. So we appreciate Marcel doing that for a couple minutes. Coach Terry Parker has taken the lead over Yulee, 14-13 in the fourth quarter as well. So we got some good ones here tonight.
Good ones to finish up, yeah. Like I said, hopefully Parker will come back and get it going. Yeah, there's the score, Brent, right there, 21-13. So you are right on the 8-point game. But that's a good comeback. Now Yulee's got a chance to try to get it there towards the end and get the win. So we'll see what happens with that one. But that'll be a good win. Another big district. That's an interesting district too. That's the 5A district. It's Rains, Yulee, Rebolt, Terry Parker. So there's 4 capable teams right there in that district. Uh-oh.
Hey, we're going to keep an eye on this, Casey, because you do such a good job, and you're about 15, 20 seconds ahead of us, usually when we see it on the feed. But let us know, as it looks like West Nassau on that last play just went out to midfield, barring no penalties. I catch it a couple seconds later, but we'll have Casey at the ready. And by the way, that's a little TV trick right there if you saw the color bars, okay? We need that highlight later on TV. So you might see that here on the feed. Hey, we're just taking you live, peeking in. That's what we do here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show, which, by the way, I think is I don't think anybody else does this, Coach. I keep screaming from the mountaintops. I don't think anybody does what we're doing here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. But we're taking you live with 3 minutes to go in a game that's a one-score game, West Nassau, Baldwin, and it's the luxury we get to do. What do you think? Walk us through this a little bit for Ricky Armstrong and company. They got midfield down by 8 points. I mean, what are you thinking?
Well, I think they're still running offensively what they've been running. They're in the double wing stuff, and they got their guys playing. I don't know how well they can throw the ball very well. So they're looks like they're got a timeout here. The crowd's getting fired up by the tomahawk chop. So I think they feel pretty good that this is going to go down. Remember, Coach Shields told us last week they were always in a dogfight. Coach Shields from Baldwin told us last week they're always in a dogfight when they play West Nassau, which is kind of a really good rival between those two programs.
Well, and a lot of that, by the way, you got to give Baldwin credit for making that into a rivalry. West Nassau has been good for a while now. That's a great place for a high school football game. They love it out there, man, in Callahan. I mean, those kind of places, tough to go to sometimes, right? As a coach, even if you feel like you might be better than, the atmosphere is, we know what Baker County is, and few can be better than Baker County anyway. They're so good.
Right.
But, I mean, it's all about the atmosphere. That's what high school football is all about. West Nassau quietly is one of those cool places for it.
Yeah, because it's, as they used to say in the old days, it's a one-horse town. Almost all those kids go to West Nassau. Like Hilliard's such a unique situation, too, because mostly all those kids in Hilliard stay and go to Hilliard from kindergarten through 12. So it's a big community and everything, which is sort of what we've lost, what it used to be around these places, around this area until all these other schools started popping up. So, again, it's just a unique situation, I think, out there with these two community schools playing each other and have developed a really big rivalry.
By the way, A.J. Miller is number one. He looks like he's getting a bulk of the work for West Nassau. What is it playing this kind of offense? Is it tough defensively, the offense West Nassau runs? I mean, what's the difficulty for Baldwin here? Is it all just assignment football? Be patient, be disciplined?
Yeah, and make sure you're getting your run fits. That's the main thing against this. They're usually big up front. They're in that too tight double wing, so they're going to really try to grind you out and pound you out and everything. And as you see, they're 4 or 5 yards, 3, 4 or 5 yards every time they go. But now they get in the third and about 5, and you got to figure out you're going to stay on what you do. It's always right now. It's 2 down. It's 2 down territory. You're not, going for it on 3rd down no matter what. So they're just probably trying to run their offense, keep their timeouts so they can get down there and get to 2-point play, get to score, and then get to 2-point play.
Yeah, it looks like I got a little bit of injury there, at least a short time ago on that last play. So 3rd down and change to go for West Nassau. We got to figure by now this game's under 2 minutes to go in the game. So Marcel Robinson taking us live. West Nassau, Baldwin's one of the games we had our eyes on all night long. We're going to get a little more district talk while we're watching this game, and you'll take us to the end of it, and we'll hopefully see it live how this one finishes. 21-13, Baldwin in the lead out there at West Nassau. In our game of the week for the Friday Night Blitz, you'll see complete coverage at 10:30 on Fox 30 on the Friday Night Blitz. Anything else catch your attention? We talked about 8A and 5A a little bit.
Oh, my goodness.
I guess something caught Casey's attention.
Yeah, I think you're about to see it. It was like a triple option of some sort, but it looks like a fumble that's going to be recovered by Baldwin. It looks like we'll wait for the official ruling. But the ball was on the ground, and the first guy on top of it was wearing white.
Well, that's a heck of a play by Baldwin. It looks like it's a forward pitch, but should that matter, Coach?
No, behind the line of scrimmage. If it was a forward pitch, then it's a shuffle pass, and then it's a incomplete pass.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
he's going to review. He's going to go to the replay on this. No, there is no replay.
There is no replay, but I think that was a forward pass. Did they call it incomplete?
Not 100% sure what they called on the field. Marcel was getting the ball, and he was doing a good job of getting the highlight, but we didn't see the referee in the shot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because West Nassau just called timeout, and so don't be surprised if they called that a forward pass. But then there's a penalty and everything else to that. So we'll see. By the way, I was going to try to get Baldwin who jumped on that ball, but it doesn't look like the player 15 is on the roster that I have right here. So still was a heck of a hustle play. We'll keep you posted on that because we don't really know exactly what's going on. But you can try to figure it out along with us here on the ESPN 690 Blitz Scoreboard Show. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. We're showing you live video from West Nassau and Baldwin. There's got less than 2 minutes to go. Down by 8 for West Nassau. They just had the football. We think they might have turned it over.
They still have it.
So they called it incomplete.
Yep.
So now it's going to be a 4th down. They did call it incomplete. And I think that's the right call. Like, I think that did go forward. So
yeah, we'll have to look at that later. But, yeah, if they call it, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's a forward pass. So no penalty, no anything. It's just, hey, let's do it again. And this should be a 4th down play for a handful of yards or less to keep West Nassau in the game. So this is a big play. Casey, take us through it. You see it first.
Yeah, they decided to throw the football. They went long for the end zone, but it was well over the receiver. It's out the back of the end zone, incomplete.
All right, so you're getting to see it and they went for all the marbles, and that should do it. Baldwin's going to probably hold on and win and beat West Nassau. You just saw it on the Blitz Scoreboard show. Good football game there. We'll have complete reaction on the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on Fox 30 as Marcel Robinson has given us a live look. We appreciate it. There you go, under a minute to go. And Baldwin should be able to kneel on this thing and run the clock out. Good effort, good game by both teams, and Baldwin comes away with the win. We talked to Coach Shields last week. That's another nice W, now 2-0 for Baldwin, Coach.
Yeah, that's a really good win for them. And remember, they're not both these teams are both 4A, so they're not in a district. So their path to the playoffs is basically by the max preps points, with no district being in there. So Baldwin's schedule, who they play against, their wins and losses will give them points as they move forward. So they're in the 4A. It's Baldwin, West Nassau, Fernandina, Bowles, Wolfson, and Jackson all in the 4A region on our side.
Yeah, that all gets clustered up at the end of the year. We've been talking a little bit on and off about the districts as we kept an eye on that game right there. But it's a district champ, and then there's a lot of things that can happen, and a lot of it's strength of schedule, how you do. It's point system, and I kind of like it. But sometimes there's always people that don't like it, Coach. It doesn't always work out for everybody. It works out for some, right?
Yeah, like I tell them, back in the day, I remember when it was the district champion only, and one year we went 8-2 and sat home because the district champion went 9-1 and beat us.
Well, and Oakleaf did that a couple years ago because they were playing, I think, Bartram and Mandarin made it to the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Which I might be mistaken, but I think it was Bartram and Mandarin. Oakleaf was sitting there 8-2 and didn't go to the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, that's a tough deal, right?
That was when they had the district champion, the runner-up.
Yeah.
So I think there was a 10-0, a 9-1, and an 8-2 in that district that year. But see, that won't happen anymore.
No,
those teams will all get in, and that's why the FHSA did it. They're trying to get better matchups, especially in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and what I think has also happened is it's created better matchups throughout the year for everybody, because now you're not afraid to schedule. In fact, you schedule pretty tough, and a couple of losses, that's okay. Hey, you're taking a look now at University Christian in Bradford, 20-13. The Tornadoes hanging around with UC. Any surprise there?
Well, they did a good job. Bradford, the Tornadoes did a really good job last week, beating a pretty solid Clay team. And, they got blown out early against a good Baker County team. And that's a big rivalry game. And being able to come back after the win last week and then giving UC all they want now, I'm not quite sure. But one of their best players, Oral Gray, it might be out tonight. I know he got hurt.
He did get hurt last week, yeah.
And he's a really tremendous player. We watched him 2 years ago as a freshman. He was one of the best players on the field as a freshman back then. So I know he's not in tonight. So that's hurt them a little bit because he plays quarterback, plays DB, plays running back. So he does a lot for them.
Yeah, so we'll keep our eye on that when you're watching it. It is right now 20-13 is the last score we have. University Christian over Bradford, and we will continue to keep our eye on that game. In fact, let's take a break, Casey. We'll come back. We'll do our Blitz QB high five. We kind of slid that a little bit. We'll talk more about the scores. We'll update you on some scores from around the area. We do have some close games. We have some surprising ones, too, though, I think. And what's going on with Trinity Christian? Verlin Dormady goes for win number 300. We'll try to get some other coaches here as well. We'll take you up until 10:30, the Blitz Scoreboard Show. And you just watched Baldwin beat West Nassau live right here on Blitz Scoreboard Show. We showed you the end of that one. 21-13 was the final. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
My secretary booped me at work today.
I booped Larry all the way across town.
Connect with your staff in an instant. All you have to do is boop. Push to Talk is back from Peak PTT.
Hey guys, I'm in the bathroom and I just booped.
It gets you to the right person in real time because nobody ignores a boop. Instant two-way communication across town or across the country.
I can boop driving.
Department of Transportation says so. What are you booping waiting for?
Ready to boop right out of the box. BoopToTalk.com.
Quitting tobacco isn't easy. The good news is, Tobacco-Free Florida is here to help you quit your way by offering the free support and tools you'll need to succeed. Our AHEC Cessation program offers Group Quit, virtual classes you can take from the comfort of your own home across every county in Florida. All you need is a phone, tablet, or computer. You may also be eligible to receive up to $400 worth of free quit aids, such as nicotine patches, lozenges, or gum. You aren't alone, and our group quit sessions can offer the support you've needed all along. It doesn't matter how many times you've tried to quit. Now is your time to succeed, because now is the time to quit your way. So give us a call at 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW to double your chances of success. Ask about free nicotine replacement options to help you quit today. This is your start to a tobacco-free life. No judgments, just help.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply. Men over 40, is your body feeling soft and not as lean? Are you losing your energy, drive, or even your passion? If so, you could be feeling the loss of growth hormone. The reality is, as early as 25, your natural production of GH begins to significantly slow down, which means you start slowing down. Well, listen to this. New GH Boost from Nugenix is the world's first and only non-prescription supplement that safely supercharges your body's GH production at night when it naturally occurs. Clinical studies show the ingredients in GH Boost can increase your body's own GH levels more than 100% in just the first 90 minutes. And right now, Nugenix is letting every man in America try a complimentary 2-week sample by texting TOWER to 231231 now. Get GH Boost and get your swagger back at the gym and in the bedroom. It's killing it at GNC, but you can only get your sample by texting TOWER to 231231. That's TOWER to 231231. Text TOWER to 231-231.
Hey, welcome back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show. While we're in break, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, you can see that Bradford just tied the game up. Well, they did. All right, made the extra point. Again, it's kind of like, hey, I'm about 10 or 15 seconds behind, so you got to hang with me, folks, on that. But anyway, tying score against University Christian. There goes Bradford. What a game. University Christian and Bradford. Showed it to you live right here, the end of that one on the Blitz Scoreboard Show here on ESPN 690. Now, we'll keep you up to date on everything going on for your ears if you're in the car or you're listening on ESPN690.com or any of the apps. We'll certainly do that. Ask Alexa as well. But if you want to really check out this show, if you get a chance to, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, ESPN 690. Look us up, and you can watch some of the conclusions of the games. And we just showed you Baldwin beating West Nassau 21-13. They hung on at the end, and right now it's 20-20 on the game you're watching. University Christian is about to receive the kick against Bradford, Coach. So a good one here.
Yeah, going back and forth a little bit. We're having some really good games here at the end. We got a big stop by the Baldwins on 4th down up there, West Nassau, to secure the win. And now this game goes to the overtime. So a lot of good stuff finishing up for us tonight.
Absolutely. That's the voice of Kevin Sullivan right there, Hall of Famer, former Ed White Commanders coach, former Jackson coach, former Atlantic Coast coach, and he's our analyst here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Always good to have Coach along. I hope you had the over on St. Augustine Middleburg. It's 54-37 in the fourth quarter. I'm assuming that's about winding down here tonight. Terry Parker, Yulee, 14-13 is my last score. I would assume that's going final soon if it hasn't already. That's the last score I have. Riverside up over Orange Park 41-9. They'll run that thing out. Rebal's going to beat Westside 27-0 is the score late in the fourth. Bishop Snyder winning 18-0 over Cedar Creek Christian. Clay 34-0 over Ridgeview. Fletcher and Fleming Island, Coach, tied up at 14 in the fourth. We got a good one there, as you expected.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, both of them have been struggling scoring points this year. So we figured it was going to be a really good defensive battle. So they're just both trying to sort of find their way, find their identity offensively. So that might end up in an overtime game also. Absolutely could be. PK Young and Union County up 28-13 in the fourth. Coffee beating Glenn 42-0 up in Southeast Georgia. Matanzas and Gainesville. Gainesville now up 50-16. Yeah. Hey, back and forth we go. Trinity Christian 30-28. Again, that is going to be a late ending game. It was a 50-minute first quarter. So, but the fireworks are there, Coach. 30-28 right now against Clearwater, and Verlin Dormady going for win number 300. What do you think it means to Coach Dormady if he could get it? Oh, I just think that for him, he's just trying to get the win. I don't think he's thinking about the 300. He'll worry about that stuff on Monday or whatever. I'm sure he's just worried about the win, not worried about the 300. And if you guys wouldn't have brought it up this week, he probably had no idea.
Yeah, true.
Truthfully.
I bet you're right. Menendez 41, Eastside 7. Let's take you to some of the other finals around. Ponte Vedra beats First Coast 27-7. Reigns over Andrew Jackson 31-14. Ed White beats Sewanee 40-24, Coach. So a nice win for them.
Yep, very good win.
Creekside, we had Sean McIntyre on 20-16 over Sandalwood. Riverside beats Orange Park 41-9. Some other scores coming in. Let me take you to Bartram Trail beats Mandarin 24-8, and Nice over Atlantic Coast 35-14. Right now, it's time to, let's do this quick. But well, you know what? I don't want to leave this overtime game if we're going to get to overtime. Well, it's not overtime yet. What do you think, Casey? You want to hang on this game? 20-20, UC Bradford. UC's got the football right now. Let's do this. Let's pop this up real quick. We'll do the QB Blitz high five. Coach, let's take a look at some of the quarterbacks in the area. And we try to recognize some of the different quarterbacks. Really not a, hey, who's the best quarterback kind of thing, but some of the quarterbacks that are playing well, have played well. And if you take a look at the Blitz QB high five, you'll see a young man that I saw play tonight, Fraternity Christian. They're putting up 30 points against Clearwater, and Colin Hurley leads the way for me. He's got 10 touchdowns, 1 pick. Started slow. I think like his first series maybe this year, I think he threw a pick. And then ever since then, he's thrown 10 touchdowns. Looks like he's finding his way, and this is a big-time talent, Coach, in the area.
Yeah, for a ninth grader in that program. And, they've had a few quarterbacks over the years that were big-time guys, but this might be the biggest quarterback prospect Coach has had in his career because that young man can throw it. He can run it. He runs the offense. They have utmost confidence. Like you said, his first pass of his career was batted, picked off, and run back for a touchdown. But he's done nothing but just light it up since then.
You take a look at some of these other guys that we have on there, and Jacob Denny is a guy, I'm not sure Creekside knew what they had at quarterback, Coach. And here they are, 4-0, and this kid's played well for him.
Yeah, he's played extremely well. Like you heard Coach McIntyre said, they threw it on 3rd and 8 on that last drive and had utmost confidence in him to do the job, get the ball out. And but, yeah, he's been real nice. He talked about, Jacob, how great a leader he is, and there's a young man that sort of bided his time, waited his time, got his opportunity, and now is doing great things leading into the first 4-0 start in school history.
Yeah, how about that? Drew Ammons, a young man out of Oakleaf. Oakleaf's struggling tonight up in Camden County, but he's played well for the Knights, who started good with a couple of wins, including a comeback win, and then lost to Columbia last week. But keep an eye on Drew Ammon out in Oakleaf for Frank Garris. And Daniel Plummer's interesting, Coach. Kale Zara is a guy that also can play quarterback, but Plummer is at Riverside and seemingly is getting a lot of the action and doing a pretty nice job for O.J. Small.
Yeah, we talked to OJ earlier in the year, and he said that, they were going to just sort of rotate him and figure it out, and whoever got the hot hand, they were going to go with, and it seems to be working. I mean, they've got all kinds of weapons. They got the really good running back. They got some good wideouts, and defensively, they're really good. So real excited to continue to watch their program and them go on because this could be their year.
And then lastly, Roman Doles from Parker. And Parker, again, the last score we have is 14-13. I got to believe this game is almost over unless they had a lightning delay of some kind or maybe some real bad rain or whatever, which is possible in the area. But 14-13 back and forth with Yulee. This is a young man. We don't know too much about it. He's a class of 23 guy. And I saw this week on his social media that he's going to take a visit to Notre Dame. And I watched him last week against Wilson. He can really chuck it now. His percentages, if you look at his numbers that Florida Times Union puts out, they're not unbelievable, but he can really throw it. He's got an arm, and he's going to go on a visit up to Notre Dame, it looks like, later this fall. So keep an eye on Roman Doles, Coach. That's another quarterback in the area.
Yeah, another quarterback, athletic kid, too, can run it as well as throw it. And I wanted to put this out for Drew Almond from Oakley. He led the state in soccer goals last year.
Oh, how about that?
He did. He
Look at you doing your homework.
Kicked.
Look at you doing your homework, Coach.
And led the state in soccer goals. And, Oakley's pretty good in soccer, but he led the state in goals last year. So I want to throw that in for the young man.
Sometimes nowadays I don't even kind of think about these guys, but as two sports or even three sports. But Tony Carter last week we had for our committed to the uncommitted. He's a good wrestler. I think he was like a top 5 in the state wrestler.
Right.
He was at least top 8, but I think he was even like top 5. And I mean, Drew Allen, heck, maybe we're saying his name when we're showing soccer highlights on TV. I don't even draw the connection to connect the dots. But
and then you'll say, and he also plays quarterback at Oak Leaf.
That's right. So that's pretty cool. But by the way, that's an unusual double.
Yes.
Soccer and quarterback of the football team. That's an unusual double. We're not talking about a kicker here now. I mean, we're talking. That's a pretty rare double. I think. I don't think I've run into that, whether it was back in the day or more recently.
No, that's probably, especially a position player that's like a quarterback. That's really good. That's why when Coach Garris told me that beginning of the year, because I asked him about his quarterback, because they had the 4-year starter graduate. Kid was a tremendous player last 4 years for them. So he told me they had a kid, and he was a great athlete and blah blah blah. So and that's how I found out he led the state in goals.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Good homework by you. Walt Simmons III, by the way, is at East Carolina. Was their quarterback. Had a tremendous career there. Columbia is beating Englewood 28-12. Let's show some of the action from that UC game now that we know their Blitz QB high five. Casey, when you get a chance. And we think that game, Coach, might not even be into the fourth, right? Is it third quarter? Casey says the third quarter, so it's 20-20 in the third, unless there's been a change in the score. So we'll show you that one for a little bit. We thought that one might be a little bit later, but it's not. Again, some of these games are super slow. Some might have had weather in the area. I don't think there was much lightning in the area, but there were some downpours in the area. I drove through one on the way back to the station. So even with that amount of rain, they might have delayed the game for a little bit. And the field conditions could be a little sloppy out there, too. Trinity Christian now 36-28. We're continuing to keep an eye on that game as Verlin Dormady goes for win number 300. What's interesting about Trinity Christian? They don't panic, do they, Coach? Like, even when they're down, they've been there so many times. They're so they trust their athletes so much. They know they have so much talent. They're just waiting for a big play, and they usually get it. And right now they've turned a 28-23 halftime deficit into a 36-28 lead. And I know a lot of folks don't know much about Clearwater Academy. Trust me, I don't either. But I can tell you this. They had some dudes now. I mean, those guys were big. And the quarterback could really sling it. And so this would be a nice win if they could get it, and a memorable one for Trinity. It could be Verlin Dormady's 300th win.
Well, I mean, they're used to winning. That's the main thing, is they know how to win. So they don't, they're going to be in every game no matter what, no matter if they get a little bit far behind, which they did early in the year. They did in this game. They come back. They figure out what they need to do, and they get the ball to their guys, and then they do their thing. So, again, it's going to go back and forth. That scoring's not done in that game yet. That's still not over.
Yeah, no doubt. Casey, update me on what you just said. Sorry, I was listening to Coach, didn't hear him. Jump on in here.
All good. That Bradford game is going now to the fourth. It just started. This is, if you're watching the stream, you'll see it in about 15 seconds. That is the first play of the fourth quarter. So we got some time, but we got about 30 more minutes or so on here, so maybe we will get to see the end of this one play out.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of scores to pass along. Ed White wins 40-24. Creekside 20-16 over Sandalwood. Rains 31-14 over Andrew Jackson. Nice win there. Ponte Vedra 27-7 over First Coast. And let's see, we get some other scores to update you on. I think it was still 14-14 Fletcher Fleming Island at last check. That one's got to be getting close to going to OT. But some of those scores might not be updated. Just depends when people want to dial them in and call in the score or update the score. But that's what we've got so far. Ribault looks like they're going to win against West Side tonight. Bishop Snyder up over Cedar Creek Christian. And the game you're watching right now, University Christian and Bradford. Earlier, we showed you the finish of the Baldwin and West Nassau game. Marcel Robinson up there in Callahan. And we'll have full highlights and reaction on the Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30 of that one. That was a good one. We watched the finish, and West Nassau had a chance, and Baldwin held them off 21-13. Florida Deaf and Blind 44-14 over the St. John's Country Day. Brunswick beating the Islands 41-6. And what else we got? Brunswick beating New Hampstead 52-24. Coach, another good day in ball. We've got some games that still are in the balance here.
Yeah, still going on. You got a final with St. Augustine, 54-34. I just got that come in. And, been some good games. Week 4, first district game, you're trying to get to win. Want to go 1-0 in the district, most important, because we've got some really good districts set up, really good things. In 7A, we had PV move up from 6A, and Nice moved down. So that's Nice PV. Going to end up with Fleming, Fletcher, AC, and First Coast in that district. So that one's wide open. Nice is the front runner for that right now.
All right, Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan. We called the Blitz Scoreboard Show here on ESPN 690. It'll take you all the way up till 10:30, getting scores in. We got some highlights playing. We got committed to the uncommitted coming up in just a few minutes, too. And Coach Colin Drafts is on the line right now after a big win tonight, 35-14 over Atlantic Coast. Coach Drafts, nice W. Looks like that offense was high-flying tonight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, came out, played well, really in all 3 phases. We got a quick start on offense. Actually, they had the ball first, 3 and out, and blocked a punt, and then first play of the game threw a touchdown, and that kind of got us rolling, and didn't really look back from there. But it was a good one for us, though.
Coach Sully, take it away.
Coach, we talked to you week 1 about how you're really senior heavy and how you've had some really good leadership. 37 seniors, you said, from week 1 after getting that big win week 1. Had a little step back week 2 with a good football game, and have really sort of come together. Last Coach McIntyre said your quarterback Stokes is a tremendous player from week 2. He wants him to graduate early. Tell us a little bit about his development. Now, you've had him the whole time you've been there, so tell us a little bit about his development.
Yeah, it's going to be neat to see because you're right. He was a part of the freshman class when I got here, and he played on the freshman team. And fiery kid, and emotional. But I love those types of quarterbacks. He did a good job that year. And then last year, we started him off on JV. He had a heck of a JV season. He had one game where he had 8 touchdowns and over 600 yards. I don't care any level you doing that. That's pretty impressive. And he did, was doing so well. We felt like, hey, we're going to start dressing this kid out for varsity. And towards the end of the year, he was picking up those second halves. And then he started the last 3 games of the year last year and did some really good things. So we felt like coming into this year, he would have the potential to be really good for us, and that's what he's done. He had a great game in the spring versus Palatka, good summer, and then obviously made just enough plays to win that PV game. Did some decent things against Creekside, even though we had our mistakes. I think that was probably good for us to play a team that good early on. I'm assuming, did they win tonight? Did Creekside win tonight?
Yeah, 20-16.
Right, not surprised. They're really good this year, and I think it was good that we played them early. To kind of get that one out of the way. Not that I want to take a loss, but we learned a lot from it. And now the last 2 weeks, we've really been clicking. And Marcus has obviously been the catalyst, for that on offense at least.
That's pretty cool to see. Colin Drafts with us, head coach at Nice. And, you're one of the teams and programs I keep going back to as I think we're watching this build in action starting to turn the corner. You guys kind of feel that too? I mean, what you put in place these last couple of years to now some of these games turning into W's instead of kind of learning the hard way with losses.
I tell you what, you never want to get too far ahead of yourself, but we always felt like this could be the year. I mean, it's got to be the year. Anytime you got 37 seniors, you got to produce. But these kids are just like we talked about after the PV win, a resilient bunch that went through an extremely tough first 2 years. But I've been through that before as a coach and a player, so I could relate and kind of tell them, hey, we just, keep heading in the right direction. And I felt like all along, even though those first 2 years were tough, that we were doing the right things, and that hopefully this would be the year where we would get the payoff, because we do coach and we do play to win football games. And so early on right now, that's what we've done. Obviously, 3-1, 2-0 in the district, and guys are excited, just confident, and having a lot of fun right now, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, and those district wins with you 2-0 in your district, you sort of set yourself up really in a really good spot, even though, going in and out each week. But, Coach, real excited for you and your program as you move forward, and, we wish you luck.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you having me on.
You bet. Colin Drafts, thanks, man. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Nice gets a big win, 35-14 over Atlantic Coast, and some good quarterback play once again from Marcus Stokes. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. You want to take a timeout, Casey? We take a timeout. We do committed to the uncommitted. I think Steve Price from Ponte Vedra is going to chime in the next 20 minutes or so as well. He said his phone's dead, Coach, so he's going to try to get to a phone that works.
That'd be good.
Probably all the texts after a W, right? 27-7 win for Ponte Vedra. And we'll talk to the new coach of the Sharks, hopefully before our show ends. The Blitz Scoreboard Show. We'll take you some live action. You're watching University Christian and Bradford. That one tied at 20 in the fourth quarter, so a good finish there. Okay, Bradford just missed a field goal, so it stays 20-20. So that should be a good finish. You might even see the end of that one right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. And then we hand right off to the Friday Night Blitz. I'll run downstairs on TV on Fox 30. So all the highlights and reaction from the area. You don't want to miss it. ESPN 690, Fox 30, CBS 47. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Marcus Roberts, a jazz pianist and a proud graduate of the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, a state public school available at no cost to eligible K-12 Florida students who are deaf, blind, or both. FSDB prepares students for a lifetime of success, allowing them to do more, be more, and achieve more. For more information, call 800-342-3732 or visit www.fsdbk12.org.
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a time when our community gathers to raise awareness, honor the lives lost to domestic violence, and let survivors know they are not alone. Show your support by attending Hubbard House's Barbara Ann Campbell Memorial Breakfast October 5th. This inspirational program features a survivor of domestic violence sharing her story of overcoming abuse. Tickets are available at hubbardhouse.org/breakfast.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pet's changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
I'm Alfreda Boney, founder and CEO of Perfectly Suited Career Consulting. I'm proud to be a Jags Chamber member and to serve on the advisory board of the Jacksonville Women's Business Center. The JWBC is innovating and adapting, embracing the digital transformation to serve more women in Northeast Florida. For example, we are launching the Network of Trust program that will mentor and vet female business owners, preparing them to take the next step as a company. For more information, visit jackschamberfoundation.org.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
1, 2, 3, break. It's Friday night. This is the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Here's your host, Brent Martineau.
Hey, welcome back to the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau along with Kevin Sullivan and Casey. Kevin Sullivan, our head coach, our analyst. He is putting it all together as we give you scores. We show you action. You're watching University Christian and Bradford tied at 20 in the fourth quarter. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we'll have committed to the uncommitted. This is fast flying show on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Coach, you glad you signed up for this or what?
Oh, man, this is great. And I just got another text. Fletcher kicks a 17-yard field goal with no time on the clock to beat Fleming in regulation.
Wow. So couple of tough losses for Fleming, who, by the way, like if you do like winning percentages over the last few years, they have won a ton, Coach.
Yep. They've won a lot, and they've lost a couple tight ones this year.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you a little bit like Mandarin's lost a couple of tight games. They go to like 1-3. Sandalwood's lost some tough games as well. Won a close one against Fletcher. So, I mean, listen, you can't do it every year, right? You know that. I mean, you're going to have these ups and downs a little bit, but it's not like they're right there. They're just not getting probably the right plays to go their way.
Yeah, without a doubt. And, getting Theatric Faison's first win as a head coach at his alma mater, Fletcher High School. And, again, it's tough year in, year out. You're going to have a bunch of guys graduate and try to keep it moving and moving forward and everything. And, that's just part of high school football nowadays.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it. So a nice win for C4. Theatric Faison gets his win at Fletcher. Maybe keep the game ball. Do you have your first win, Coach, of your high school career? Do you have the ball?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do have that ball. Yes, I do.
Who'd
Still
you
have it. We beat Sean McIntyre's father-in-law, Jim Matheson.
That's right. You've told us that.
Way back in 1990.
Hey, man, you didn't have to get into the 80s. That's pretty impressive, I mean, you retired like 14 times, and you didn't have to go all the way back to the 80s for your first win.
Exactly. No, not to the 80s.
Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan having some fun here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. You just saw moments ago University Christian scored to take the lead 27-20. Hey, that's what we do on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We show you the live action. You're watching it 27-20 now. University Christian in a good one after Bradford missed a field goal to go ahead. University Christian comes back and scores 27-20. They now have the lead. We showed you Baldwin and West Nassau. Baldwin wins 21-13. Showed you the finish of that game a little bit earlier, and we've been sharing some scores as well. Wolfson gets the win over Christ Church, Coach, 14-6. Nice win for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that's a good win for them. I think that's their first one, too. Might be their first one on the year. And Christ Church was rolling along pretty good. They were undefeated going into that game. So that's a big win for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, very nice win over there. I was over there at Wilson last week. They got some good players, and they said they were just telling me they love the team. They love the kids. Dennis Bettinger. They were just like you could just almost tell they were having fun. They weren't even winning the game against Parker, but yet they were just having fun coaching those guys. Have you had teams like that, Coach?
Yeah, you got a good group of guys playing and working hard and everything like that. So, they're just enjoying. They know they're outmatched in some games that they're playing, and the games they know they're not outmatching, they can compete and try to get the W on. So it's been pretty good for them. They know what they're up against and what they're trying to do at Wolfson with the Wolfpack.
Yeah, absolutely. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, Blitz Scoreboard Show, brought to you by the UNF Ospreys as well, and good to have the UNF Ospreys on board here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. How about the Ospreys now as they head into this fall campaign? They're combined 15-4-1 to start the year, including 7-0-1 at home if you take all the teams into account. Volleyball's 8-1, beat Virginia Tech. Women's soccer ranks 7th in the South Region, plays at Florida on Sunday. Men's soccer opens ASUN Conference play against Central Arkansas at home on Saturday, so go check out the Ospreys. Student athletes had a cumulative 3.46 GPA in 2020 and 2021. So check out University of North Florida. We know there's a lot of parents and kids listening. Doesn't have to be all about football. It's got to be about school, right? University of North Florida, right in your own backyard. Right. And we appreciate their support of our Blitz Scoreboard Show. We also appreciate the support of Baker Sports, and Baker Sports brings us committed to the uncommitted once again here on an edition of the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We do this each and every week. It's been a lot of fun to highlight some of the kids in the area, and Alvin Gibson is who we highlight tonight. This is a guy, like many, that have got overlooked. He's only 5'9", so he can get overlooked. But he can play running back and wide receiver. Very talented. I watched him play against Atlantic Coast a couple of weeks ago. He's part of this tremendous team coach for Riverside. He gives them some more options. He can pound it. He can beat you with a big explosion play. He runs a 4.5 40. But O.J. Small tells me this Alvin Gibson kid is what it's all about. Committed to the uncommitted. He hopefully will be committed somewhere soon enough.
Yeah, catches the ball really well out of the backfield, too. Just an overall good, solid high school player. Height will get him a little bit on the next level, but he'll go find some place to play because he's real explosive.
Yeah, 3.25 GPA for Alvin Gibson, running back from Riverside. He benches 275, 405 squat. Not many times we get that to throw that in there, too. But the guy's 405 squat, Coach, I know you can't do that.
Oh, gosh. No, me and about 3 other people might be able to do 405.
This is what Coach Small says about him. Disciplined, harder worker, elusive team player, versatile, great vision as well. Alvin Gibson, running back Riverside, committed to the uncommitted. We want to get these guys some exposure, some looks. COVID world has really hurt that senior class, especially, and even some of the juniors. So take a look, coaches around the country, college coaches, at a guy like Alvin Gibson, can play running back or wide receiver from Riverside, one of the top programs in the area here in 2021. It's presented by Baker Sports. Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport. Baker Sports has been doing that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas, screen print, embroidery, and trophies, all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports, get you ready for your big game, looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports. And by the way, see my Dream 18 quarter zip? Courtesy of Baker Sports. And folks that play in the golf tournament on Monday, the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, I can get one of those as well. Thanks to Baker Sports for all their support of not only us here on ESPN 690, but also all the high schools and most of the high schools and teams in the area. We have Steve Price on the line right now. I think Steve is calling in, and we have the Ponte Vedra head coach here on the Blitz Scoreboard show with our head coach, Kevin Sullivan. I'm Brent Martineau. Coach Price, I know it's the first time you called into our show. We appreciate you taking the time to do so after a 27-7 win. How'd you get it done?
Well, our kids played really hard, played really well, had a great week of practice, and really controlled the football for 4 quarters. But I don't know how many plays we ran tonight, but we definitely controlled the clock and converted when we needed to.
Coach Sully, take it away.
Coach Price, how you doing, bud? Long time no talk. We talked many times when you were over at NFC back in the few years ago when I was running the sidelines over here in Jacksonville. But, hey, just wanted to get an opportunity. You had the big setback early, your first game being in that big rival, but being able to get your kids to come back the next couple of weeks and really play hard. Tell a little bit about some of the leaders on your team.
Yeah, I think it's a real credit to our kids and their families and what PV is all about, because there really wasn't any letdown at all. Obviously, we were very disappointed to lose, but we lost to a good Nice team.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good football team. There's nothing to be ashamed of. But we've got a good group of seniors that I think probably led by Luke Pierce. Luke is committed to the Naval Academy. He's an outstanding student, outstanding young man. Plays our Sam linebacker and is just a tremendous leader for us. And then Evan Fleischer is a defensive end, plays a little bit of defensive tackle for us as well. Evan is a tremendous student as well. And then Aiden McCabe is an inside linebacker for us, kind of a real emotional leader for us. We've got some good offensive linemen. Michael Curry is a senior offensive lineman. Cade Ty is a senior offensive lineman. Jameson Webb, a senior offensive lineman. All these guys, boy, they're PV through and through. They've been with us for a lot longer than I've been here, and they were not going to let our team, let down just because the season didn't start the way we wanted it to.
Coach Steve Price with us here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan off a 27-7 win for Ponte Vedra tonight. Coach, what's your vision in Ponte Vedra? I mean, that can be a sleeping giant now. You got a lot of support over there. There's a lot of talent down there in St. Johns County. You come over and take this job, which did great things at NFC. What's your vision here as you move this forward, not only this year, but down the road?
Yeah, we love Ponte Vedra, and we love the high school. We love, I think, the people that were here, the people that were here well before me, did a fantastic job of developing the infrastructure for success. We've got a great booster club. We've got a great administration. St. Johns County is a wonderful place to work. We've got very, very supportive parents. We've got a great youth program. We've got a great middle school program. So as I looked at all of that, this winter, we thought this place is really, really special. So I'm thankful to be a part of it, and I'm thankful for just the many, many people that have poured their lives into this place well before me, and they've done a great job.
Well, Steve Price, we appreciate the call tonight. Good luck the rest of the way, and congrats on a win on a Friday night, 27-7.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
It's I got to believe. Listen, now you get closer to the beach, NFC out in Tallahassee. Good program, though, man. That must be tough. You had to jump around a little bit from time to time. It's always tough decisions, right?
Yeah, always. And, you got to look at what you think you can do, what you think you can accomplish. And, he'd been in Tallahassee a long time. He jumped to Georgia for a few years. Then he went back to North Florida. And, you find a situation like Ponte Vedra where they got a good winning tradition, great support, good fan base, its own community. And so, good place to live, and, why not? And so they hired a good football coach, and he'll take his time, and, he's establishing his program and trying to bring some stability to PV after what went on last year over there. And, he's done a nice job right now. Early on the year, and they're still sitting okay. They're 1-1 in that district, so that they've got a chance to keep fighting and getting in a playoff berth also.
Coach Kevin Sullivan, let me ask you this. You know what you got by now? You're a month into the season. Yep. Some teams have only played 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, but do these guys know, even if they don't want to admit it, like kind of who they are?
Yeah, usually by week 4, you're pretty much, knowing what you're going to do, where you're going, and what you're moving through. And now you just keep trying to fine tune, keep getting better, keep the, as we would say, keep grinding our kids, keep pushing those kids, not to get too high, not to get too low, and focus in on what's important. And that's every Friday night, getting to school, taking care of your business in the school, and getting a game night.
Stop me when you hear a score that maybe catches your attention a little bit. Bishop Snyder's beaten Cedar Creek Christian 18-0. Fletcher has gone final. They beat Fleming Island 17-14 on a field goal. 35-18 Columbia over Inglewood. Inglewood seems like they're battling each and every game. That's a good sign for the Rams. University Christian, I think we're still watching that one on the feed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, right here on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We're showing you a live look at it. It's 27-20, probably with just a few minutes to go in the fourth quarter over Bradford. That's been a really good game tonight. Gainesville beating Matanzas 57-16. 36-36. All right, I'll stop you, Coach. 36-36. I'm actually editing the highlights for the Friday Night Blitz right now. Trinity Christian and Clearwater Academy.
I told you.
Why did I go to the beginning? I should have just done the show live from there.
No, we could have been sitting over there in the press box doing this whole thing and just watching the game, and then we get all kinds. We could have had a bunch of like the NFL Network. We could have had Brett Martineau's network and everybody's games up there on there. That's what we're working for, Casey. That's what we're going to get to here.
Brett Martineau's network. You're right. Hey, you know what? What's the Powerball and Mega Millions this weekend?
Yeah,
Remind me to buy a ticket.
It's over 400. Over 400. I think we could have some red zone stuff going on for us if that happens.
I was going to say, by the way, that's the least of what I'll be getting is a network, okay? If that happens. Hey, Trinity Christian, as we're talking, just took a touchdown lead, 43-36. This is a heck of a football game, man.
Oh, man, that's awesome. It's crazy. I thought we talked about it a little bit ago. I said they're not done scoring. They're still not done.
No, they're not done. By the way, that's in the third quarter, according to my report. It's in the third quarter. Again, that is a long game. Coach, we're going on almost 3 hours of that game, and they haven't even gone to the fourth, according to what I see. But even if they're just in the fourth, we're going on 3 hours, Coach.
I know. It's crazy how long of that. Did we get a prop score today, Providence?
Yes, 27-7.
Okay, was the final?
We got a connection over there.
27-7.
No, 37-7. Don't shortchange them, or I'll hear all about it. 37-7. Providence gets the win over Stanton tonight. So good W for those guys, right?
Yeah, they've gone to 2-2. Started 0-2, and now they've gone to 2-2. And then they're in the 3A district, and good for the 3A district because it's really in our area. It's Episcopal and Providence, basically in that 3A region, I should say, not district, in the region.
My goodness, Coach, can you imagine, like, if you're coaching at Providence and Episcopal, and obviously Brunel's left, but if you're coaching there and you see the districts change and Trinity Christian goes down to 2A, like, you might throw a party. Like, you might throw a parade on campus.
Not just that, but University Christian stayed 2A also.
Well, they probably didn't throw the parade. It's good for us, though. But
no, it's awesome. It's great. It just gives us so many more people in those lower classification. But yeah, but Providence got a good shot. They got a couple things going on over there, and two in a row after starting 0-2, and moving forward.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big deal. Seriously speaking, I mean, you can't compete with Trinity Christian year in, year out. I mean, they're just not built to do that.
No.
And so for them to get into this district, I mean, that's or get them out of the district, seriously, it's a big deal. You give yourself a chance. And Providence started with Bishop Kenny and Jackson, and they knew that was going to be tough. But now, like, more manageable schedule down the road. I think they have Father Lopez next week. So, just more manageable schedule. So we'll see what Providence can do, but a nice win for them tonight, 37-7. Other scores to pass along. Camden County's all over Oakleaf, 36-6 in the second half was our last score check. It's been 36-6 for a while. Bartram Trail beats Mandarin 24-8. Terry Parker, that's a big win, 14-13 over Yulee. They come back and get it done. So a nice win for Terry Parker. Nice beats Atlantic Coast 35-14. Ponte Vedra, we just had Coach Price on, beats First Coast 27-7. Reigns over Andrew Jackson 31-14. Ed White 40, Sewanee 24. 14-6. Wolfson gets win number 1 of the year over Christ Church, 14-6. Creekside goes to 4-0 for the first time ever, 20-16 over Sandalwood. Riverside wins again, 41-9 over Orange Park. Ribault 27-zip over Westside. Bowles gets it done over Fernandina Beach, 49-14. Shootout in Middleburg. Middleburg's first loss, but you know what? Not a bad showing. St. Augustine wins 54-37. They hung around in that game. Baker County wins 42-7 over Paxton. Bishop Kenny shuts out Tokoi Creek 36-0. Eaglesview falls 13-12 to St. Edwards. And we showed you the finish of this one now. Baldwin beat West Nassau 21-13. That was a good one. West Nassau had a chance. The ball 4th and 5, probably on Baldwin's 25-ish, 30-yard line, and pass fell incomplete, and that was the difference. Clay, 34, Ridgeview, nothing. St. Joseph loses to Trinity Christian, not the one right here in Jacksonville, not Trinity Christian Academy. Conquerors, but the Trinity Christian Eagles, 7-6 was the score there. Keystone Heights wins 68-13. Menendez, 41-7 win over Eastside. And the list goes on and on. Charlton County gets a win. Union County gets a win. And those are some of the scores. We'll have all the highlights, or much of the highlights, coming up tonight on the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 as I run downstairs in just a few moments. Coach, pretty good week once again, right?
Yeah, week 1 of the districts. We're going into next week, halfway points in the season, man. And like I used to tell the kids, once you get started, the games start playing, it goes fast, so you better enjoy it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and this time you just hope you're healthy, right? I mean, you get as healthy as you can be.
Yeah, especially, with COVID lurking out there. You never know what you're going to get each week going in, but just getting to Friday night, getting the kids on the field, just a major accomplishment right now, and staying healthy.
I was over at Ed White. We just watched Baldwin beat West Nassau. They shut it down for like a week and a half. Ed White shut it down for like 9 days, so they lost the game. And so there's a little bit of part of that. Hey, Clearwater just scored again. It's 44-43. I'll tell you what. If Verlin Dormany's going to get that 300th win, that guy's going to earn it tonight.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what.
I mean, wow.
All right.
How about
crazy.
that? Well, that's it for us on the Blitz Scoreboard Show. Time to change up, run downstairs, and I'll see you in the Friday Night Blitz. Coach, that was a lot of fun. Enjoy the weekend. We got a lot of football coming up this weekend. I hope you enjoy it.
All right. We'll talk to you all later.
All right. Remember, tomorrow night we got Florida State Seminoles right here on ESPN 690. And Sunday morning we start a new show. It's called ESPN 690 Game Day Live from the Duval House, right on the foot of the Hart Bridge. We'll be there from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. Casey and I will get you set for a game day in the NFL. That starts on Sunday morning, and then full TV coverage all day, of course, with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, a lot of fun, folks. Go back and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. You can also always check out all the ESPN 690 stuff on our Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. It's Friday Night Blitz time. Right after this, we'll keep you updated on that Trinity score. They're losing by 1 in the fourth quarter. Back and forth they go. And the quest for 300 for Verlin Dormany. We'll tell you if he got it on TV in just a few. I'll see you on Fox 30 at 10:30 coming up for the Friday Night Blitz.